What you're about to hear is a first-hand account of an encounter sent to us through our website at bigfootclassified.com or the Squatch line at 878-SQUATCH. That's 878-778-2824. And now for the encounter.
My name's Mikhail. I'm the story I have to share is about the Almas, or the Almasti. This happened in 2001, so I was 8 at the time. But what happened just kind of I don't sleep next to windows anymore because of it. Even to this day, I will always move my bed away from windows. So it was me and my parents. We lived in a really small village in Siberia. The actual village name is called Rodovka. And this was in March. We were hiking up a trail in the woods, and my dad, I just remember he stopped us. And keep in mind that he was in the military for almost 20 years. I think he spent 4 years in the regular army, and the rest was in the Spetsnaz. So he was not somebody who was easily intimidated, but he just kind of stopped us and just kind of instructed us to start walking backwards. And he was just looking at something. I didn't see what he was looking at the time, but he acted really, really insecure. We ended up heading back home. I didn't see anything, but I definitely could, as we were walking down the trail, I could smell a weird kind of smell. The best way I can describe it is it was kind of like a smoky kind of smell, like an old fire that had burned out, but it was that mixed with rotten food or some sort of garbage. It was really, really pungent. I just remember smelling that as we were walking down the trail, and I could hear stuff kind of moving around in the brush, but like I said, again, I didn't end up seeing anything. What ended up happening later that night was the really spooky part. So the way that our house was set up was the area where I slept was on in a loft, pretty much, because the way most Russian houses and out there, because it gets so cold, is they set up the bedding above an in-house chimney area, so that way it stays nice and warm. So sleeping up there in this loft area with a little tiny window above my head that would slide open and stuff. I always sleeping there because I like the fresh air. But we had a wood pile outside alongside of the house, but this window was at least 7 or 8 feet in the air. What ended up happening was I was sleeping that night after we got back, and I guess something had slid open the window, and it reached down and it grabbed onto my face and was attempting to pull me out of the window. I remember trying to scream, but it had its hand around my jaw, the bottom of my jaw, so I couldn't really scream, so it was muffled. Thank God my dad woke up. I don't remember a whole hell of a lot. That night's really kind of fuzzy for me, but I do remember my dad screaming, swearing, my mom crying, and what I was saying was my dad ran out of the house, and I remember hearing multiple gunshots he fired, and then this horrible noise. It wasn't like anything I had ever heard. It was almost like a bellow. I'm trying to think of how to explain it. It was kind of similar to a way a man would kind of roar, but it was a lot deeper, and it just had this echo to it. I don't even know how to describe it. It was just very, very strange, very large sounding. But whatever it was, it let go and ran off. My dad will never tell me what that was. He just absolutely refuses to talk about that night, and my mom the same thing. They just absolutely refuse to talk about that incident at all. I kind of got a little bit out of my dad when I got him drinking on my 21st birthday. I got a little bit of details out of him. He said that he wasn't exactly sure what it was, but it was large, covered in like a brownish hair. But it was hair that was like longer than a bear's, and it was bipedal. But after that, him and probably about 20 other people got together, and they went out into the woods and just kind of like, they were gone for 3 or 4 days. But they came back, and I don't know if they ever found anything. None of them would talk about it. But to this day, I have never encountered anything like that again. But yeah, now I live in the U.S. and it's well, it's less interesting at night. I mean, the most we'll get woken up by here is like a dog barking or something. But yeah, yeah, that's my story. I'm sorry it took so long, but hey, if you find it interesting, it'd be nice to hear. But all right.
If you've had a cryptid encounter, a close brush with Bigfoot, or a story that sends chills down your spine, we want to hear it. Visit BigfootClassified.com to report your encounter, or give us a call on the Squatch line at 878-SQUATCH. That's 878-778-2824. Your story might just be the next one echoing through the airwaves of Bigfoot Classified.